Guiding and running rivers around the globe, we've been fortunate enough to see some pretty amazing rivers in some pretty amazing places. With so many rivers paddled, it's strange that we've never managed to run any of the classic southwestern US multi-day desert runs, until now. Taking the advice from our friend and longtime contributor to Rapid, Jeff Jackson, we set our sights on the Green River and the Gates of Lodore. Luckily, we snagged the last 2 spots on an O.A.R.S rafting trip, which meant that all the logistics, permits, and food were taken care of. All we had to do was fly to Salt Lake City, Utah, rent a car, grab an open boat from Utah paddler Jeff Young, and make it to Vernal by morning. We were on our way. Sort of.
Apparently you can't rent a ski rack in Utah in August.
Seems they're having a bit of technical difficulty with the ski rack system. Even with 30 years combined whitewater experience, some things don't get any easier.
The roof racks don't work and we're blowing up our thermarest or whatever we have, a sleeping pad, and we're going to put it between the roof and the boat. Roof rack by Big Agnes.
We finally made the 3-hour drive, in 7, to Vernal, where we met the others on the trip and loaded the bus where it dropped us off at the start of our 4-day river journey. With a buzz of anticipation in the air, the trip leader, Russell, quickly handed out helmets and PFDs and got them fitting properly, and then gave a strikingly familiar safety talk.
You're in the water. You take a deep breath. As of right now, you're just wet, right? Not that big of a deal. So if you fall out of the boat, right there, that's your first test of whether your PFD is tight enough. If your jacket's too loose, pulling just a jacket into the boat, and now you're swimming in the river without PFD on.
After one last shuttling of gear through the scorching hot sand, we met our other guides, loaded up the rafts, and dipped our blades into the Green River for the very first time. Well, we just met the whole crew, made the trip to the put-in, Gates of Lodore right behind us. Let's go see what they have in store. While it quickly became obvious our necks would be sore from constantly looking at the truly majestic canyons and trying to absorb it all around us, what we didn't know was that we were paddling into a piece of history that helped shape a country.
The Green River. The Green River is a major tributary of the Colorado. Just a brief cultural history. There's been people using the Green River corridor here around the Lodore area for many thousands of years, starting with Paleo peoples, which are 3,000 plus years ago, crossing the land bridge and coming through this area. Then down to archaic peoples. There's some evidence of both of those here in Dinosaur National Monument. Then we come up into a little more recent times to the Fremont Indians. Fremonts were here from about, say, 300 AD, 2 to 300 to 11 or 1200 AD, depending on who you talk to. They left some evidence here, but no real permanent habitation here in the park.
The history of the area is truly amazing. From dinosaurs to French fur traders, there is evidence all around that this is a very special place. The guides also shared the history of how the rapids came to be named. In the exploration of the Colorado, John Wesley Powell and his crew had some harrowing moments on this section of whitewater, the first of which happened at a rapid they termed Disaster Falls, and we were about to find out why.
We've arrived at Disaster Rapids, we've scouted it. They're going to run a lead boat and they're going to run some duckies. And I'm not sure, but I'm looking at it and I'm thinking there's going to be some carnage. It's day 2 and everybody's falling into what I'm going to call canyon living. We arrive at camp, we fire line our stuff up the beach, we set up tents, and then we eat appetizers and play frisbee and wait for our guides to prepare dinner.
Why isn't it?
Okay, slow down.
We're sorting ourselves out. Here. Pass it up.
Shut up!
How's the food been on this trip,
Is it
guys?
related to gardens?
Yeah?
Yummy! Much better than camp food.
Much better than camp food with vegan counselors?
Hey, how do you know we're not vegans?
Because you guys eat this stuff. That's why.
Drawing people from all over the world, we asked a few from our group why they chose the Green River as their destination.
Well, we're here on the Green River on our summer vacation, and we came here because we'd heard a lot about the river from friends who have boated it before, both with oars and also on private boater trips. And it was a different kind of ecosystem than we've ever seen. The geology sounded really interesting. The length of the trip was about right. And you know, we know that O.A.R.S provides a quality trip, so that's why we came along.
I mean, O.A.R.S does incredible things all over the world, but the most basic thing they do is they train their guides really well and how to talk to their clients about rivers, the importance of rivers, the history, geology, all the stuff that goes along with this. And they really know how to instill a love of rivers in people. And that goes a long ways towards promoting the preservation of rivers in the general public.
And they run a really good trip. You know, everything's very, very well organized from the time you originally sign up from the trip to your experience day to day on the river. You know, there's never any question about what's going on. You're comfortable with the competence and the professionalism of the guides, and everything is very well organized. And I appreciate that as a client.
Absolutely.
So we decided to do an adventure trip with the kids last summer and another family, and Tom had the idea to do a rafting trip, and because he's from Colorado and really loves the desert, he honed in on this particular area and did a little bit of research.
Yeah, we looked at a bunch of options, but this just seemed to be the perfect combination of excitement and camping in the desert and beautiful scenery too. The geology and the colors here in the desert are just spectacular.
It's a fun way to end the summer too with kids, because for them it's ultimate just fun and adventure, and for us it's easy because we don't have to cook and we don't have to make decisions, and so it was a fun way to kind of top off summer.
When we first arrived, we weren't really sure what to expect, but quickly fell into the easygoing rhythm of the river. A typical day on the Green would have us break camp, float beneath towering canyon walls dotted with abundant wildlife, splash through a few fun rapids, and then put on our hiking boots and follow the well-worn trail through the desert to a crystal clear stream, cascading waterfall, or ancient rock art. Not to mention the history and science lessons from the guides.
Okay. Excellent job, Gregory. Nicely done. That was awesome.
To be honest though, it was the whitewater that piqued our interest in the trip. The whitewater on the Green is truly fantastic. You get lots of variety like long flat float stretches, you get some nice class 2 wave trains with catch on the fly surf waves, We have some beautiful Class 3s thrown into the mix with boulder gardens where you can do boof moves and lots of eddy turns. It really is the perfect river running river.
Four days ago, we entered through the Gates of Lodore, not really knowing what to expect, but this canyon river trip is truly awesome. Beautiful sandy beaches, majestic scenery, and super fun whitewater. Like many of the families on this trip, I know that I'm coming back. Thanks to O.A.R.S, and especially to our guides, this is Scott MacGregor, hoping you paddle forever. All the way to Utah and buy Canadian whiskey. And it's half the price! It's half the price! What was that again?
Oh, I love video.
Extreme close up. No, not the guns. What's your favorite thing of the trip so far?
The giant rapids.
Giant rapids. Are you guiding today?
No.
Do you want to?
Yes.
Bit of a hike for me to get here. Me and the mountain goats up here, but hopefully the shot's worth it.
Well, we have ski racks, which are crap, and we're trying to tie it down and make it work. And this is the stupidest thing I've ever done to a boat. Ever! No, I have nothing to say right now. Sorry.
What?
I have nothing to say.
Where are we?
Do I need to do this again?
No, you can just start going walking there.
I know, but all my stuff's over there.
That's okay.
I'll just read it right now. You can hear that? Yeah. Wow.